medical
Well, you know what's going on.
I want to see.
Who doesn't know what's going on today? Okay, well, look, you've come to part 2 of a 2-part colloquium. This should be fun. Come on in, guys. And we have tomato flavored snacks for a great reason that we will talk about soon. Is Richard here? No? Okay. Oh, Richard is coming. Okay, so.
Chair?
And there's seats here. So, Greenfoot is a program that makes 2D animation easy. Those of you who have done this? Easy? Amanda? Pretty easy? Yeah, those of you. Okay, and so as part of this, we have a competition. Let's pull up our first competitor. And while that's coming up, I will also open the scoreboard. For those of you in Dr. Allen's class, who's that? So we have co-commissioners of the Greeps competition league. And y'all lose because your co-commissioner is out of town today. There was a question that came up that, hey, it says you can only call move once, but can you call it with a parameter? And the answer that we came to before he left town was no. So I've gone through and changed some of the submissions a little bit. So when you had magic flying Greeps that would go 150 spaces in a single step, you will notice your Greeps are a little bit slower. Sorry, you may take this up with him next week. But he knew not to be in town. Okay, so we have a Greep that's going to go a little slower than the user expected. So the spaceship comes to Earth and it lands, and many of you, this first thing, this is your first experience with Greeps. And while it's doing this, I'll pull the scoreboard up. Actually, these Greeps are jumping magically around too, so let me come in and recompile. So if you have move with a parameter, I thought I had changed these all. Yes, I have. It's changed to move 1. And those all should be changed by now, so I'm sorry. Okay, now let's run this again. The spaceship comes to the planet because, of course, Greeps don't have tomatoes at their home planet, but they do love tomatoes. And then the Greeps will get out of the spaceship and start wandering around. Oh, these are not happy Greeps. They really needed to move 150. They will start wandering around, and you can bring this up with him next week. We will have more bad prizes for them then. And they're supposed to go out and look for tomatoes. Okay. And these Greeps, since they lost their magic flying power, can't find tomatoes. And I'm sorry for you, but I also, there are rules in life. Okay. And so after they've taken it, we're 33 seconds. We're going to go a little faster because I don't think they're. Oh, and we also have music to Greeps now. After they've done 2 minutes, y'all have seen these 3 maps. They're going to go. And there's a 4th map to see how adjustable your Greeps are. And we'll go a little faster, but I know many of you are interested. And a 5th map. And a 6th map. And a 7th map. And that's an ugly map, because they find the tomatoes up here and they get stuck. And of course it's done by Greenfoot, so we have a big foot. And a 9th map, and then, ooh, the ugly probably 10th man. Okay. So yes, I've taken away this Greeps magical flight. I'm sorry, Richard, but you're not here, so you can't even argue with me. You will argue with Dr. Allen next week during lab. Okay. So, alrighty. Oh, the score sheet isn't even working for me. This is interesting. Okay. So let's find the next one. Okay. Who are you two people? You've given me one? When? Agree? Would you be able to? Really? Okay, just give me a second. You, sir?
John Robinson.
You I have, and I have yours. Are you with Sean?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I'll go look again. That's part of the fun of this. Okay. John, since you're in the front row, JT and Amanda, get ready. Tell us about your grape while I'm going out and loading it. They like tomatoes. Okay, okay, what can grapes do?
They can check their position and
Okay. Let's see, grapes fall and okay, I'm gonna take your grape, I'm gonna copy it on top. Oh, I'm gonna copy it. Here. And then I'm going to reset, and I'm going to recompile this. And let's make sure this is your grape. Yes. All right. So let's slow them down a little. We know how they work on the first. Okay, so does your grape spit?
yeah.
What's a spit?
They spit all three of the colors.
Okay. Ooh! What do they use the colors for?
Orange is just a random color. I just used it because I want to use all three of them. The red is if it's got a tomato to show the other grapes how to get there, and it shoots out purple if it sees red paint.
Okay. And the purple?
The purple is just if it sees red paint. So
Oh, okay.
That way you can see if it gets a wall and it sees red paint and purple paint, it should turn red.
Okay. So that's pretty good. That's oh. I don't have edit privilege on my spreadsheet. I know why. Okay. Okay, so let's speed up a little. We're doing pretty good with tomatoes. This was the worst of all the maps because they tend to get stuck along the lake. But you're coming back with tomatoes. That's lovely. And then we get to the new ones. I feel this need to talk, but y'all are the ones who did the work this time. Those of you who have never seen grapes, do you have questions yet? They're going to get stuck in the great northeast. But you're still getting tomatoes. Well, that dirt slipped. 189. Okay, so since we're interested in the score, let me show you the score sheet. I'm copying these. And this is visible to you. Hopefully you can't edit. Can you see that? That's short for no, isn't it? You have permission to see this. I want to kick the font size up. Let's go to 14. I've had this anonymous user on here since. No. Maybe. Font size, let's go to 14. That's better. And if you want to see this for yourself, you can go to goo.gl. 0 C, capital C, capital N, little g, big B. Okay. So let me get the rest of. Do you need that written someplace? 0 C, capital N, little g. Anybody seeing it?
Yeah.
Good. Did you edit it? Even better. Okay. Alrighty. Next, JT. You go out and find your brief. What did you do with your brief?
Well, really the only thing different is that when my groups see a tomato pile, instead of just sitting there and spinning, one of them will stay there and cross the diameter of the pile back and forth.
Okay.
So that instead of having two groups just sitting there and spinning, one is kind of monitoring the whole pile. So if anyone comes up, it's loading it as soon as they get there, as opposed to them maybe being on opposite sides of the pile.
And I had to change your group too because you had 3 moves in a row.
Yeah.
You're allowed 1 move. We hope. Yeah, he's going by, but he lost the pile. But, okay. And what language did you use to write this?
Java.
Okay. Where'd you learn Java? Yay. Do you want C++ Greeps?
No.
And I didn't use paint because my groups just got confused with myself.
It's still doing okay. And in fact, you can make your own maps. All you have to do is paint blue where you want there to be blue, and you can go look at the code and see how to create tomato piles of varying styles. And sometimes the spirals work in the right direction for your briefs, and sometimes they don't. And I'm going to very cute. Well, they got 1 pile empty. And they wander around. There's been talk about doing genetic algorithms for groups. Are we still thinking about that, or have you found something better?
I'm still thinking about it.
We talk about it every time we do this contest. Genetic algorithms are an AI technique, so let me get your final numbers in here. 3, 36, at 166, and I've got to get the rest of John's scores. But next, Amanda. Oh, here, ma'am. Just quickly pull up the right screen. These are the emails I have, ma'am. Which one's from you? Okay, did you send it to mercergreeps@gmail.com?
I think we actually sent it to our teacher.
Okay, I'll go see if I can find that. I can't get into Dr. Allen's email. I don't want you thinking that there's something horribly wrong going on. Sure, yeah. Oh, okay, what happened? You have two Rachels in your class, don't you? I got the one from that Rachel to the right email, and I just said, oh! So they resent it to the right email, but not from your Rachel. I got it. Okay, we'll get to you. All right, so we're going to do Amanda next because
You have one?
I have yours.
Okay.
That seems like a good reason.
I was about to like forward stuff.
I know you didn't send it to the right email, but since
Sorry.
I'm your teacher, I did know the right email. Okay, so we're going to compile and we're going to run. All right, Amanda, what did you do?
I made them split rotate when they're coming back, and they split purple while they're just sitting there.
Lot of
That's about it. And they turn a lot.
And I've got your vowels backwards. Are you looking at the scoreboard?
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Fair
sorry.
and high.
And what exciting things happening on campus that we weren't invited to, so it doesn't much matter. Who's our visitor today? Who? Oh, you're visiting here. We're excited to have you too. But you probably are famous too, and I don't know that. What famous person is on campus right now?
My car.
Jimmy Carter. Yes. He has just become he just became a trustee for the university. And you would say, oh, well, Jimmy Carter, he's a trustee for everything. No, this is only the second board he is on. And what's the first? Who's been reading the news? 6 is 14. 46. The first board that Carter is on is the Carter Center board, which, if you think twice about it, is probably not a bad idea. Ooh, you got now.
Another
8 is a nasty man.
Give it to your teacher. Who's your teacher? He's my name. Did you put your name?
Okay, so let me get your numbers and we will go on. And I've got to go find yours. I'm sorry. I just assumed 20, 14, 6, 12, 15. Okay. And yeah, your son isn't purple either. Just put your son. Alrighty. So is Sean the next person? Anybody over here? Are you the next person? Okay. Talk to me about your Greek.
Well, I'm in Dr. Allen's class, so I probably cheated.
You had a different interpretation. That's been fixed. Don't worry about it. It's just short for I can go in and change things. Okay. So So we'll run. Do you spit?
No, ma'am.
There's some
Well,
spitting.
a little bit, but
I know. What sort of a question is this? Do you spit? Do I have yours out?
I emailed it.
To me or to? Yeah, they're moving fairly slowly, I think because I may have screwed up when I disabled them. But they're getting back. And yes, you can have a recount in lab next week. Okay, yeah, there is a little bit of a problem there. Okay, so this is magic swimming boots.
Why didn't you put them life jackets?
They don't have life jackets.
yes. No.
Tomatoes are boring.
Yeah, the active swimming boots are doing well. That's good for that.
It's the power tomatoes.
I want to know how you get them to go over water.
So what?
Okay.
Water's a
Well, they can't move at the water's edge.
It has to do with the way that we were like gliding.
Yeah, but it's not that you're. Oh, 6s, 8 and 6. Go get them. Okay. That is I'll go with the code, but I may have disabled them, but I didn't give them the magic ability. Yeah, I don't think I gave them. Did they swim for you? But you have big jumps, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So they flew. They didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So the scores are 12, 10, 10. 6, 13, 8, 6, 3, 9, 7. Okay. Okay. Oh, I've got to go grab yours. It's going to take me a second. I have to go out to my Mercer email now. Okay. What did you learn about Greeps? Why would we do this? Should we ever do this again? No. With no. Why do you hate this? You are so lucky you're not in my discrete math class.
That will never happen.
You are true. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Desktop. Computer. Downloads. Read. What do you hate about Greeps? Do you like tomatoes and don't like sharing?
Actually, I don't like tomatoes.
Well, then you should be thrilled something's coming and taking tomatoes away from your world.
Oh no, I don't like tomatoes.
Oh, okay, this is still not the right breed. Because you're not Sean, Chris, and Rachel, are you? Rachel Bledsoe.
It's supposed to be Haley Fallon and Crystal Fallon.
He didn't send it to me. So that's why we're seeing Rachel again. So it was the same Rachel on both of them. these are the men swimming groups. We're not going
No, they're not
to.
swimming.
We can pause them. And I should have the score sheet. What happened to the score sheet I had? Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to have to run yours again, Richard, John, because I've lost your score. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay. Okay. Did we decide you were coaching, John?
Do what?
Yes.
Yes, you.
Yes. Yeah.
You didn't go swimming.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I think we have a winner.
There's still two more on the score sheet. But
Yeah, we, are either of them here?
sure, those are there.
Oh, hi. Well, let's run you then. All right. You may or may not believe this is running, but. Oh, there's the score sheet, and here's the brief, and we will compile. And it is you, right? See you here? Up in lights? Compile, run. What did you do with your brief?
All I really did was alternate the turns and make sure it was actually agreed with state potatoes.
Okay. How'd you alternate the turns?
I had a flag, so if it kept,
Okay.
like if it was consistently at water for 3 moves, then it would turn at a greater angle, so they would get something a little less often with me. And if they were at potatoes and they weren't in their reach around, then I just did turns, so they would just turn 180s every move.
Okay, and that's, so you actually did use the flats. That's a nice thing. Let's move this over. Okay, they're coming back now. And yeah, we will run the school briefing. Did any of you know Bruce made noise before this? Yeah. Come on, make it around the field. Still want to know what you have against Greeks. Okay, let me get these numbers. We've got a total. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 6, okay, 134. All right, and our last competitor. And I'm sorry, you will have to compete in lab next week, and he's gonna have to bring more products. I'll tell you that. What'd you do with your brief?
The only thing really changed was if they get stuck at the wind's edge or at the water and the film was made out, they drop it and rubber it at the bottom.
Wow, I've never thought of that. So we compile. Okay, this isn't yours though, Dr. Allen is actually presenting on Scratch, which is another two-dimensional programming environment with games programming for the State of Georgia Teachers Conference. And I'll have the score sheet up and you'll be able to see. Oh, they stop. They lose heart. Okay. And since we're just about here, next week's colloquium is going to address a different contest. Is Michael around? Apparently not. Anybody else on the team around? So, programming contest, this is a contest that exists that has bad prizes, but there are also programming contests for just programming, Java or Python or C++, so you're not restricted. And we had 2 teams, 8 students go last week to the contest, and we've got another, to a small college contest, so not really big bad competition. And that team finished 2nd. Woohoo! And we have our #1 team going tomorrow to the Southeast Regional ACM, the Big Bad Programming Contest. And we don't know how they finished. But next week they will tell you about the kind of problems they had and how they succeeded. If you are interested in things, continuing with things like this, there will be a programming contest next spring that you can participate in. And do I have anybody who's not a 204 student who participated? Anyone 204 student gave me groups? Okay. Alrighty. So let me get John's numbers in here because he's going to be the big winner. We need to remember this. 31, 17, 13, 24, 19, 6, 0, 8, and 30. Yes. Thank you. Because the total came out different. Okay. 113, yeah. So, well, I'm glad we got you. So, I'm sorry, team, you didn't do so good. But John, congratulations. Yes, good job. And so now for the bad prizes, anything on the 70% off table at Kroger's yesterday. Since you are outstanding at crafting Greeps, you are now also going to be outstanding at crafting pumpkins. Okay. Second place, because chocolate's always good. My third place, because chocolate's always good. But if you're in 4th place, that's just bitter, but sweet. So there you go. So the rest of you want to learn how to do Greeps. We do this once a year, twice a year. Are they hard? No. And they're challenging, and it's a chance to compete against people not in the programming contest. Next week is the programming contest week. Hope you will come back and see real presentations as opposed to just competitions going on. We'll see you then. And there's still bacon, lettuce, tomato, potato chips, and tomato Cheetos. Which should be not Cheetos, but Tomatoes, yeah. So anyway, good. We'll see you next week. I'm so sorry. Dr. Allen did send me one, but I just never bring it over. At the beginning of class. So we're
I'll be able to work on that with this.
give me, take the ones that you'll get some right back.